Hey guys, hope you're having a good summer. Um, Actually, the topic of summer is what made me think about making this video, and I don't have a lot of verses or scripture to go along with this. It's more of just like a mental health kind of talk. So since I've been struggling with mental health, probably since like fifth grade, um, there's been a pattern, and that has been explained to me through therapy and psychiatrists and things like that, of what happens whenever you have downtime, or you're just changing your schedule from your usual. And so I think that's really important to talk about whenever summer comes around and college students and everyone else, their schedules might start to change. Like, you might be coming back from college and having days off and things like that. And I already started to see it affect me, and remind me that I need to go back over my coping skills for some of the things I struggle with. And I think the best way to explain it is that whenever you struggle with something, whether it be like an addiction or just a thought process or anxiety or anything, one way we try to fix the struggles that we're going through is by distraction, aka just don't think about it, think about something else. And that is very helpful. I found that very helpful when I'm going through some really tough times. Diverting your mind, changing the channel, kind of shifting what you're doing at that moment. But also, this can lead to other addictions. And if you already have an addictive personality, or struggle with mental health, by switching to something else to focus on, that's a slippery slope of, okay, now this is my problem. This is my thing I'm going to keep running back to. Like, oh, you may have started out with just having depression, and you're like, okay, every time I feel depressed, I'll go drink. And it's like, okay, yeah, that was a distraction, but now that's your problem. And so I have a thing where I will make myself really, really busy, because whenever I'm distracted and focused, I don't think about, the hard stuff or my insecurities or whatever I'm struggling with in that moment. So during the school year, I like to describe it as like there's no thoughts going on in my head except school. Like, there's no room in my head for any of those little, things I've been suppressing. So even during the school year, if I had a Saturday randomly that I just didn't have anything to do, I started to feel myself getting depressed and the thoughts coming back in my head and starting to struggle, and I'd have to find something to fill that time. And when things like summer come along, where, at least for me, my summer job and my summer classes didn't start for like 3 weeks after my finals ended, that was 3 weeks of me sitting at home watching TV, trying to find something to occupy my time. And idle time is my absolute nemesis, because the more time I'm just sitting there thinking, the more time my thoughts have to grow. And I've been working for years, years, but specifically on what I'm dealing with now, like over a year, on trying to suppress and work through these thoughts and these behaviors that I have. And all of a sudden, I feel like I just went right back to the beginning of my recovery, because I don't know, I had a few days with no obligations. And that's just, the hours are so long when it's just you in your head. And like, my mood is so bad when it's just me. And so I don't know, I just think it was a good thing to start talking about ways that I found to like healthily deal with trying to cope with this new, not even a new season, it's a season that comes along. There's always holidays, there's always a break. I don't know, in just ways that we cannot fall back into our older routines, our negative routines, just because our schedule's changed. So for me, the first step is like acknowledging my behaviors and acknowledging the process I go through that leads to those behaviors. So like, if I'm acknowledging, okay, whenever I'm sitting alone in my room, just on my phone, or just thinking, that is when I start to dwell on thoughts that I don't need to be dwelling on. Okay, so I acknowledged it. So what am I going to do about it? I'm going to find healthy coping mechanisms to distract me. For me, movies and things like that, honestly, not enough. I need to be doing something with my hands, with my body, that's fully captivating my head. And so reading. And if the thoughts are too loud, I can't really read, so I need to get up and go somewhere. Go to the store, go hang out with friends. And I've just been in this situation the past year or so that that's not always an option to be with other people. So I have to find ways that by myself I can, distract. And so doing my Bible time, what else I do? Oh, I switch my hobbies like every single week. Sometimes you'll see I'm painting. Sometimes, right now I'm doing bracelets. I'm doing the kind of bracelets that like no one can talk to me while I'm doing them because I have to focus so hard. And I love it. And also I want to say that there has to be a level of like acknowledging the problem also and not just distracting. There needs to be a balance because, like I said before, you can't just replace it and just avoid. You have to face the issue. But if I'm having like a negative thought about myself, I can say, okay, I know that that's a false thought, but that doesn't make it go away. So as long as you're also saying like, this is why I'm feeling this way, and I'm just going to get myself out of this position, and I know the truth, and I know that my head's lying to me, I'm going to go do something else. I think that's a healthy way to do it. Because for a while, when I was struggling and wasn't in recovery yet, and I was avoiding with distraction, I was saying, oh, all those thoughts are true, and I'm going to keep acting on those thoughts, but then also try to escape through other things. But now I'm like, okay, yeah, it stinks being in my room alone and thinking about myself this way. But I know that's not true, and I know my head's lying to me. Maybe I should go do something. Schoolwork during the year, it's hard to explain because it makes me depressed, but I also care about it a lot. And also, when it's not making me depressed, makes me really happy. It's a double-edged sword. If I do really well, it makes me really happy. But if I suck at it, it makes me really sad. And obviously I'm not gonna like drop out of school, so it's not like I'm gonna have an explanation to that yet. But I get so used to that cycle that now that I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, I need to work. I need to work and do school. Oh, I'm done with my stuff today. What am I gonna do? I can do more school. It's nice to maybe write down a few things that you enjoy doing so that whenever you do have this free time or change in scenery, that you're not just left with, I don't know what to do with my life. And the last thing is, I guess it's a little more specific for people with different struggles, but going on vacations with your family. I've never really talked about this, but it's really difficult for different mental illnesses. That's not only changing your routine, that's changing location, eating times, the amount of times you're socializing. So at least for me, part of my recovery is like really schedule based, and it makes me feel very secure. And I've challenged that, and school has made me do that, but like getting out of that routine is really scary. Waking up at different times, like just having idle time on vacation is terrifying to me. Because I'm like, well, what am I gonna do? Is this gonna happen if I'm not doing anything? And for me, just remembering that it's probably only like a week. It's a good exposure, a good challenge. These memories are so important. I've had so many memories just ruined because I wasn't thinking about anything around me. I was only in my head, waiting for it to end. And it's like, that's not what vacations are supposed to be. And just because it might be a little more difficult for us to enjoy the vacation. I think it's really important to work towards it so that one day when I have a family now, when I have like my own kids and a husband, that I don't know, I won't have to have those thoughts. Like I'll be worried about making sure my family's having a good time and making sure that we have enough money to do it, not about what if I have idle time or like what if my schedule's, I want to be able to worry about other people also. So yeah, also just acknowledgement I think is also important of that it is difficult to go on vacation for some people with certain mental health issues. It's a lot of change, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of anxiety, but there's also a lot of really good memories, and I'm very happy for my recovery and being able to, even if it's tough, just have memories that I'm smiling and I'm happy and I'm enjoying myself, doing some of the things that honestly like a year or two ago would have made me like break down. So yeah, that's a little, not even midsummer, just summer talk. Right now I'm in Cal 3 right now over the summer. I just did 2 quizzes, and one of them I'm gonna try it again to get a higher score, but I needed a brain break, so I've been making my bracelet because I'm trying to limit my time on my phone. It doesn't make me feel good. Yeah, so I hope you're having a good summer. Remember your coping mechanisms. Don't let your recovery or whatever you're going through be derailed because of the summer season. Bye.